Why are so many YouTubers quitting so early? That is the question we're gonna answer in this video because it's true and it's concerning that so many YouTube creators are quitting way too early, and because of that they're missing out on everything they could have achieved otherwise. If they just were consistent. They're missing out on the freedom, the financial independence, and on the ever so popular creator lifestyle they could have lived. And yes, I am aware that the entry barrier into YouTube is quite low. Pretty much anyone with a smartphone and a cheap microphone can start making videos and putting value out there on the internet. But I'm not talking only about those people, because obviously most of the people starting out don't have what it takes to be consistent and to succeed in this YouTube journey. But I'm not only talking about them. I'm not only talking about the creators who aren't really committed to begin with, the creators who have no skills or real knowledge that they can provide and that their audiences can get value from, and not only the creators who are doing it for fun, who don't want to get money off of YouTube, they're just making videos as a hobby, let's say. I'm not only talking about those, because there are good creators who are still quitting. Creators who provide really valuable content, who have the information that people and their audiences need to hear and that would benefit from. Those who create good and quality videos and who also seem to enjoy the process, and they're still quitting. So what's going on here? Well, obviously everyone has their own reasons here, but the thing is, creators seem to be getting really tired at some point, and that's when they give up. And honestly, this is pretty justified. I mean, for starters, the competition is really high. Competing at such a high level with all of those huge creators out there who have entire teams behind them, allowing them to create really good quality content, is hard. It's not easy, definitely. Then there's a lot of work to be done, despite what anyone else might say. Sure, being a doctor is difficult, being an engineer is difficult, but being a good YouTube creator is not just play. You're not just playing online, you still work. And it's quite difficult work, because you have to sustain stress, you have to sustain mental overload for long periods of time, and that's not to mention that you have to be creative every single time you come back with a video. It's definitely not easy. And next up we have boredom. It can get boring. Repeating the same strategies, tips and tricks and value can get boring at some point, let's be honest here. And one that I really like, one reason that I really like here is purpose. More specifically, a lack of purpose. Some of these creators may provide good value for their audiences, they're definitely giving them useful guidelines, but at some point they might not feel that mission, that purpose, the feeling that they're making a real difference for their audiences anymore. And that can really be a hit here. We're gonna talk about this a little bit later, but for now, I believe there is one particular reason, additional reason, that is the root of all evil, in my opinion. And I'm talking about reward here. Because like I said, a lot of these creators, especially the good ones, are working hard. It's difficult, it's a lot of effort they're putting in, and they're not even getting rewarded that well. AdSense or sponsorships don't provide the amount of financial reward that they would enjoy or they would need or they would expect here, and that's why they're losing motivation. They don't feel motivated or compelled to keep going any longer. I believe that's a huge one, despite, again, what anyone else might say, that if you're a YouTuber, you should do it out of passion or whatever. If you're doing some stuff consistently, if you're putting in the work, the blood, sweat and tears, and you're not seeing the reward, the recognition, then you're not gonna feel motivated to continue. And discipline alone in a creative space, I don't think it's enough, to be honest with you. So let's take a look at the following graph right now, because we are going to talk about how you can avoid getting into that same situation in the first place. The situation where you're losing motivation and you want to give up. Because a big part of it is, in my opinion, finding a way to get rewarded more for the effort and the work you're putting in. And this graph is just a bell curve, right? Where we have the reward on the x-axis. Basically, the more you are to the right, the more you're getting paid from your content, right? Or from your personal brand, I should say. And here up is the percentage. Most of the people are in the middle, where they're good creators, they're getting paid quite well, not amazing, you know, definitely not what they dreamed of when they started. And on the extremities, we have people starting out, which are quite few in numbers because, yeah, there are many people coming into YouTube, but most of them are quitting really quickly, right? So this number is low. And on the right end, we have the experienced YouTubers who seem to be dominating the space. Now, if you are, let's say, in this place, or if you're in this place, or even on the right side of the curve, if you find a way to get paid more or to be rewarded more for the work you're putting in on YouTube, you can actually get ahead of the curve and end up in such a place. And all you need to get here is you simply need to leverage one thing, just one. Because that thing is going to help you properly monetize your content, so you're actually earning more money from it, and you're earning what you deserve, what you actually deserve, not just what AdSense is paying you. And that is gonna provide the motivation you need to keep going, so you'll never want to quit. If you leverage this one thing, you'll never want to quit, just because of the rewards you're getting, not only the money, but also the fact that you're gonna make a real difference for your audience, beyond just the surface level advice that most creators are getting. You're gonna make a real difference because you're gonna put your viewers through a real transformation. So that one thing is called the deep mine effect. And we have an entire whiteboard coming up where we're just focusing on the deep mine effect, right? But before that, there's one more thing I want to mention really quickly. If you're just starting out, if you're in this phase and you're just figuring this content thing out, then this video might not be so useful for you. Like, feel free to stick around till the end. I'm not kicking you out or anything like that, but at this stage, your priorities might be a bit different. Maybe you'll want to focus on creating quality content first before implementing any of the stuff we'll talk about in the next whiteboard. But yeah, if you're here in the middle, let's say you've learned how to create compelling content that people want to watch, you've learned how to provide value in an easy to consume way, and you've also started to enjoy helping people for real. Like, you're getting those positive comments from people saying you've really helped them, you've changed their lives, you know, your value was really making a difference for them, and that's started to feel really inspiring and fulfilling to you. So if you're doing all of this, let's say you're 1 year into this game, or 2 years, or even more, and if logging into YouTube Studio and checking out the AdSense revenue feels just like opening a brand new bag of Lay's chips, so underwhelming, then make sure to stick around for the next few minutes because you need to hear this. Right, here we go, the deep mine effect. What is the deep mine effect? Well, let's take the following example. Imagine you are a miner, right? You're essentially mining for a living here, and obviously you want to make the most out of your mining efforts and attempts. You want to end up with the most amount of value or the most amount of outcome at the end of the day, or at the end of the week or the month, whatever it happens to be. Now, quite intuitively, if you're gonna operate only in the surface level layers of the mine, so the outer layers, you're gonna find quite common stuff. You're gonna find coal, iron ore, stone, and things like that, which are definitely useful. I'm not saying they're not useful. You can do a lot of things with them, but they're not the most valuable things you can find in a mine. Because as you go deeper and deeper into this mine, you start getting to the good stuff, or even the life-changing stuff, right? In the middle layers, you can find silver, you can find copper, high-quality oil, and in the bottommost layers, you can find gemstones like rubies, diamonds, and even gold. And I promise this video is not gonna become a Minecraft tutorial, right? But yeah, as you go deeper into the mine, you start getting to the life-changing stuff. Like, just imagine you're just randomly mining, you're digging into the ground, and you get to a random chunk of gold or a random chunk of diamonds. Quite life-changing, isn't it? Now, going back to our YouTube creator example, the miner is actually not you, it's your viewers, as you've probably already guessed. And the mine is your creator ecosystem. So at the surface level layers stand your videos, so your content right here. And if you want to stay at this level and operate at this level exclusively, you're not going to be able to provide the life-changing stuff to your audience. You just can't, because there's so much you can do in a video, right? You can provide the guidelines, you can give advice, but you can't make people do the work, essentially. So what if you showed people how they can get to the deeper layers right here and get what they actually want? Because, for example, in the middle layer, you can get them on your email list where you provide exclusive value that they wouldn't be able to get in your videos. You have a lot more space to do so in the email list. Or you can also sell maybe a guide, nothing too expensive here. But then in the bottommost layer, you can do the good stuff, which is maybe you're selling an online course. Or if you're particularly skilled at something, if you have a skill that people can get a lot of value from, you can even have your own mentorship right here. Now, obviously, I don't encourage anyone to sell a guide or a course or a mentorship if they're not particularly good at something, right? I'm a big fan of these courses and mentorships, but only if they're done properly. And this information that you're sharing here should ideally come from your own experience. So you implemented something, you got feedback from that after trying on your own, and now you're sharing that feedback with other people in your courses or mentorships. Big fan of these. I really believe they provide the real value that people truly listen and attend to, and they provide the true transformation. And just to give you an example, I've been in a direct response marketing mentorship for nearly a year, and it's actually insane how much I've been able to level up in that time alone. I probably wouldn't have gotten those results in 3 years if I did it myself. And just recently, I've also gotten 2 different courses. One of them was on the cheaper side. You know, it was from a guy who didn't have that big of an audience, but he's definitely a huge authority in the marketing space. The course was about email marketing for e-commerce brands, right? And was really good, gotten a lot of value from it. And the other one was Ali Abdal's Part-Time YouTuber Academy. And again, here, even though his whole idea is getting people big on YouTube, so growing their YouTube channels, having a lot of subscribers and views, which is not my particular philosophy. I want to focus more on conversions, but despite that fact, and even though I knew most of the information that was in the course, I still ended up with a lot of value, a lot of things that I had absolutely no idea about and that I wouldn't have been able to learn from YouTube free content, for example. Stuff like things about hiring, which I didn't need up until now, I don't need right now either, or stuff about branding, which was amazing. Now, it's true that if people want to go deeper into your creator ecosystem, they'll have to put in more effort or put in more commitment, and they'll also have to pay some money for it. Because if you're putting in a lot of work into this stuff and you're sharing information that maybe no one else is sharing, or at least no one else is sharing for free, then obviously you want to get rewarded from this. And like I said in the beginning, this is the way that you're gonna get rewarded and you're gonna be paid what you're worth, basically, because AdSense and sponsors aren't gonna pay you this amount of money that you can do with this, right? And besides that, like I said, you're making the money, but you're also providing true transformation for people because you're getting them to put in the work themselves in a course. They consume the course. If they pay for it, if they pay especially premium prices, you can be sure that they're gonna value it a lot and they're gonna implement every little advice or tip that you're providing in that course. You're making them take action, not just passively consume your content, right? So you're giving them true transformation, which ties into what I've mentioned earlier, the purpose part of the process. You're having purpose, you're getting motivation, you're getting rewarded. This is how you never quit on YouTube and how you get ahead of the curve, financially speaking. But yeah, going back, people need to put in more commitment and more effort. So you might be wondering right now, you might be asking me, okay, Robert, but what if no one buys? What if you have a mentorship or you have a course and nobody buys the course or nobody joins the mentorship? What then? Well, that's a totally valid concern. So just give me 2 seconds to write the rest of this whiteboard and we're gonna get into it. Right. what if no one buys? Okay, there are only two things we should be concerned about here. And the first one is finding people that would actually buy from you. And I would say this is not a problem at all. There are plenty of people out there who are looking for good quality courses or good quality mentorships. You know, if you have a good offer, you're not gonna have any problems finding people that would be willing to buy from you, okay? Because high achievers know that real transformation isn't free. No high achiever will expect that they'll truly change their life by watching YouTube videos, okay? It's not gonna happen. And secondly, these high achievers understand the importance of investing in themselves and in their education. They see it as an investment, not as losing their money, not as wasting their money on something. So as long as you have a good offer, this step won't be a problem. Now, how do you actually get these people to buy from you? So getting them to make the purchase. Well, this is what marketing and sales funnels are for. Because these people might have a problem that you can solve, right? But maybe these people have never been this deep into a mine. Maybe they have no idea what lies here in the middle layer or even at the bottommost layer. They have no idea what they can get if they get here. And all marketing and sales funnels do is you're telling people what they can expect. If they put in the extra effort, if they pay the money, you're telling them what is the transformation they can expect to go through. And obviously this goes back to the point of not trying to scam people. If you don't have the expertise to provide them a specific transformation or give them some specific value, don't lie to them in the marketing. Just be honest, because at the end of the day, being honest is what's getting you good testimonials. It's what's gonna get you repeat customers, and yeah, you're ultimately gonna make more money this way through honesty. Now, there is also the point of that I hear very often, that through marketing or sales funnel, you're somehow manipulating people to buy. And I don't think that's true. Like, sure, there is the possibility that you can manipulate people through marketing, through persuasion. But remember, if your offer is good, then convincing them to buy your course or join your mentorship is ultimately in their own benefit. They are the ones who will benefit from this, who will go through the transformation. Because it's just like, you know, imagine you're convincing somebody to buy Bitcoin in 2008. Is that manipulation? Is that evil? Or is that just a big advantage for them? So as long as you use these ethically, and this goes back to having a good offer and truly having a skill you can teach other people, then you're good. You have nothing to worry about. You're gonna find people that would buy, and you're gonna manage to get them to actually make the purchase. But for now, if you don't already have implemented these deeper layers, if you don't have a guide or an email list, a course or a mentorship, and you do have a skill that you can leverage in these things, you can just focus on this. Forget about the marketing for now. Just focus on creating a good offer, because the marketing part is the easy step, I would say. Nothing to worry about here. So this is how you make your creator or your YouTube journey sustainable and how you never quit. If you leverage the deep mine effect, first and foremost, you'll be able to create content that you actually enjoy making, not just content that you feel compelled to do because it has a high CPM or AdSense pays you more for it, right? And secondly, because through the deeper layers of your creator ecosystem, you are going to make a bigger impact in people's lives. You're gonna give them real value. You're gonna give them a real transformation because you're making them take action, right? So that's would probably be the purpose aspect or the mission aspect of this journey. And obviously, you're gonna get rewarded a lot more. You're actually gonna be paid what you're worth this time. Way more than AdSense or any sponsor would ever be willing to pay you, which obviously gives you the motivation to keep going, to never quit, and to get ahead of the curve to the place where your dreams and the things that you started your YouTube journey in the first place will happen. But other than that, remember to stay ambitious, stay resilient, and keep creating. See you in the next one.